Did you and Mr. President Macron raise the topic of a reparations loan? I think, of course, you did. How far have the negotiations on this issue progressed? And can we say that this long-term, promising agreement signed today includes the use of these funds for the purchase of military equipment? And, of course, I have to ask you because my French colleagues promised to ask, but for some reason they didn't. Are the measures taken so far enough to cleanse the management system of corruption, and what will be the next steps?
Thank you for asking. First of all, regarding funding, in fact, President Macron said that there are SAFE programs, there are ERA programs. SAFE should be used more for co-production. And even in the Rafale program we are considering the possibility, if we are technically ready, of co-production of these aircraft and parts at some point. And it is very important for us, as well as drone co-production. And we want to, and we will, use the SAFE program in this direction. Also, regarding frozen assets or reparation loans, we definitely said that we would very much like to. And we expect, I believe that in the end we will still be able to reach an agreement and push this issue. To use Russian assets specifically for the European defense package, for Ukrainian production. And mostly for air defense systems from the United States of America. Therefore, I think it is fair to use frozen assets for projects such as the ones we agreed on with President Macron today. Is it enough? No, not enough. We will continue the relevant actions. Thank you.
What is the timeline to expect to see the first Rafales in the skies over Ukraine? And isn't this decision too late, given the situation on the front in Ukraine? And also, perhaps, to raise the bar even higher, will we not today make France a co-belligerent country?
No. You yourself said in your question. Some say it's too late to help Ukraine, others, too early. And I just think that this is the right moment. You know that we have already transferred the Mirages 2000 to Ukraine. Other countries have already transferred other combat aircraft, combat aviation, and air component to Ukraine. So now all these components only complement each other and strengthen Ukraine's defense capabilities, and this is a very important component. The contract we signed today fits into a new aspect, a new moment, the moment of regeneration and restoration of the armed forces of Ukraine after a ceasefire. So that Ukraine's armed forces are strong and able to deter any possibility of new aggression. And that is why we decided today to plan how to strengthen the Ukrainian Air Force with new means. And do you remember, by the way, that the first call from President Zelensky was to close the sky? To help with this. When a ceasefire and peace are signed, we must absolutely restore and fully regenerate the Ukrainian forces, including the Air Force, so that they can counter any new aggression. That is why we need to set up long-term financing today. How do we plan to do this? We plan to do our own financing, our own funds, within the framework of the law on military planning, which we will invest in this project. We also hope for cooperation within the framework of European instruments in the field of defense, in particular the SAFE instrument, where we want to give more European preference and specifically sponsor defense. And in addition, the ERA instrument, the ERA fund, where we want to direct funds specifically to defense needs. All of this will be, so to speak, complementary in the long term, and it will all depend on the stage of program implementation. But it is very important for us, for France, to participate in such a program. It is very important for us today to have and strengthen European defense capabilities so that Ukraine is strengthened, but also European defense is strengthened. And that is why we want to use European funding for this.